Welcome to the seventh episode of our series called Wonder Women. Now, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video to all of your friends. Now, has anyone ever had to repair something with a little bit of super glue? But in the Philippines, we have this thing called Mighty Bond, which is like our super glue. Now, super glue is a cure for all kinds of things. If it's been broken, a little dab of super glue can make it almost like new. It can heal a broken toy, a broken plate, or maybe even fix a broken lamp. But when we break something, it's important that we not only apologize, but we make it right. Maybe super glue isn't enough. Maybe we need to replace what we've broken. Or maybe we can do some work for someone to make up for the hurt we've caused. Maybe it's better if you didn't put any hurt. That's even better, guys. Now, making things right is a part of saying we're sorry and showing that we really want to fix things. It's not easy to humble ourselves and ask for forgiveness, but it's the right thing to do. Making things right that shows that our apology isn't just words. It shows that we love other people just as Jesus loved us. Now, if there's someone you've hurt in the last few weeks, take the time this week to show them that you're sorry. If you've broke something, fix it. If you need to replace something, replace it. Be humble and let your actions speak louder than your words.
Jesus, sweet and marvelous, the love of Jesus. Sweet and marvelous, the love of Jesus. Sweet and marvelous, oh, oh, wonderful love. Higher than the sky, deeper than the ocean, wider than the universe, oh, oh, wonderful love. Jesus is the way, the truth, and the life. His banner over me is love. Jesus is the way, the truth, and the life. His banner over me is love. Jesus is the way, the truth, and the life. His banner over me is love. His banner over me is love. Jesus is the way, the truth, and the life. His banner over me is love. Jesus is the way, the truth, and the life. His banner over me is love. Jesus is the way, the truth, and the life. His banner over me is love. His banner over me is love.
When superheroes do battle with supervillains, especially the really bad ones, they can do a lot of damage. Sure, the heroes are able to stop the villain and save the world, but that victory often comes at a price. How many times have we seen whole cities get demolished by the heroes and villains as they fire laser beams, shoot rockets, and throw one another through buildings and cars and bridges? How many times have we seen a superhero movie end with the hero standing triumph in the middle of a broken, smashed up city? The villain is defeated, the super weapon is destroyed, but so is the very city the heroes were trying to save. You've never seen heroes cleaning up, do you? You've never seen the heroes tell anyone they're sorry and help them fix up the buildings. They walk off into the sunset or go out to eat falafel, leaving everyone else to pick up the mess. How many of you could get away with that at home? If you had friends over and you built a pillow fort in the living room, whose mom would let them walk away and leave the mess? Whose dad would let you pull every toy out of the garage and leave it in the yard? Whose parents would let them have a water balloon war and leave all the broken balloons scattered in the yard? Anyone? When we make a mess, we have to clean it up. Simple as that. And any real hero would do the same, regardless how it happened or why. When we break something, we make a mess, or worse, when we hurt someone else, we need to make it right. We need to humble ourselves, say we're sorry, and make things right. Today, we're going to meet a Wonder Woman who was unashamed to humble herself and apologize, not for her own actions, but the actions of someone close to her. Abigail isn't one of the big names when it comes to Bible heroes, but she should be. She teaches us how to humble ourselves and make things right when someone has been wronged.
In the Bible, there was a rich man named Nabal who was known for being rude. Nabal had a large flock of sheep and goats, and a wife named Abigail. Unlike Nabal, Abigail was known for being sweet.
Hi.
Not far from where Nabal and Abigail lived, King David and his men were camping. David needed some supplies, so he gathered some of his men to send to Nabal's house. He told them to greet Nabal with kind words, and Nabal should return their kindness. So the men went to Nabal, greeted him with nice words, and asked him for some supplies. But Nabal was nasty. Go away! He shouted insults at them and told them to leave. The men returned to David and told him the things that Nabal had said. David was furious. He told his men to grab their swords so they could get even with Nabal. Meanwhile, back at Nabal's farm, Abigail heard how poorly Nabal treated David's men.
Oh no.
She knew her husband's bad attitude could mean trouble for them, so she gathered food and supplies and loaded them up on donkeys. David and his men stormed through the desert, ready to get revenge on Nabal. Suddenly, they saw someone approaching. It was Abigail. Abigail bowed down to King David and begged him not to hurt Nabal. She asked David to stop and think before he acted out of his anger. David took a deep breath and thanked God for sending Abigail to calm him down. David accepted Abigail's gift of supplies and went home, instead of doing something he might regret later on.
Hooray!
Because Abigail asked him to think about forgiveness, David chose peace instead of anger.
Abigail was a good woman married to a wicked man named Nabal. Nabal was very wealthy, and David, as a leader of a mighty army, had helped to keep Nabal's property safe from enemies. David hoped that Nabal would be generous, just as David had been to him, but Nabal rudely told David to get off his land. David was angry, ready to kill Nabal and every man who worked for him. That's when Abigail went into action. She not only apologized to David, she brought food and provisions for all his men. Her humility and her actions spared the lives of many people. Abigail shows us that to truly be humble, we need to do more than say we are sorry. We need to make things right. She is a true hero because she teaches us the importance of humility.
And our memory verse for the week is found in Psalm 118 in verse 14. The Lord gives me strength and makes me secure. He has saved me.
Hanging out with parents. Make this week's lesson real. Share a time with your kids when you had to make something right. As a child or as an adult, what did you do that hurt someone? What did you do to make it right?
Hi kids, for this week's trivia, it is true or false. Are you ready kids? Now, we are going to have 5 questions and a couple of seconds, between 3 seconds and 10 seconds to answer each question. Now, if your answer is true, let's think of an action, guys. Yes, if your answer is true, I want you to jump up and down. And if your answer is false, I want you to turn around. Alright? Okay, first, question number 1. David was angry with Abigail. Is it true or false? Yes, it is false. So David was not angry with Abigail. Next, number 2. Abigail was so happy, super happy when she heard David wanted to kill her husband. I think this is obvious. It is true. I'm just kidding. It's false. Now, question number 3. Abigail humbled herself to make things right with David. Is it true or false? Yes, it is false. Just kidding. It's true. Question number 4. Abigail's humility not only spared many lives, but won the heart of David. It's true. Now, question number 5. Humbling ourselves means not only saying we're sorry, but taking the action to fix things. This is obvious. It's false. Just kidding. Of course, it's true, guys. That's all for this week's trivia. See you next time. Bye-bye. Here's a craft idea for you. Have the kids write a note of apology to someone they have hurt, and to make a plan to make it right with that person.
One of the first things your parents taught you to say was the phrase, I'm sorry. When we take a toy that's not ours, we say, I'm sorry. When we break something, we say, I'm sorry. When we hurt someone in any way, we say, I'm sorry. Sorry goes a long way to healing what's been broken between people. But there's one step more we can take to truly show we are sorry. If we've broken something, we need to fix it. If it's too broken to fix, we need to replace it. By taking action to repair what we've damaged, we show that we are truly sorry for our actions. It takes great humility to say we are sorry. Greater humility is still to set things right. But Abigail shows us how important that can be. Being humble builds bridges. It can not only heal friendships, it can strengthen them. Does anyone know what happened to Abigail later in the Bible? When her husband Nabal dies, David comes back for her. She left such a deep impression with her humble heart. David married her himself. Abigail's humility earned her a place by King David's side. Being humble and making things right isn't just about fixing things. It's about fixing what's been broken between two people. It's about healing and strengthening bonds between people. showing them that they are loved not only by us but by God. Is there someone you need to set things right with this week? Do you need to ask for forgiveness and heal a broken relationship? God will give you the words to say and encourage to speak them. Ask God to make you humble and ask for His help making things right. Be humble and be a hero.
Let's close with a simple prayer. Dear God, help us to seek forgiveness when we need it. In His name, Amen.
That's a wonderful lesson this week, guys. And I pray and hope, kids, that God will find us forgiving, humble, and making things right. So are you excited for another episode of the Wonder Women? We're inviting you to join us this coming Sunday. So again, don't forget to share, like, and subscribe to the POF Kids channel and share it with your friends, your family members, your schoolmates, and whoever you wanted or whoever whom you want them to know Jesus in their lives. So goodbye, kids. Have a great week.